Peace, y'all. We made it. One thing that the world teaches you backwards is that you have to get everything that you want and desire in order to become who you want to be. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. One thing that the world has backwards is that you have to acquire or get everything that you want, everything that you desire, in order to become who you want to be. I mean, that's in my experience, like, you have to become that version of yourself that is able to do anything that only happens in your mind, right? And that's been one of my biggest I want to say biggest lessons, if that makes sense, right? I mean, if you take for instance, right? It's not like it ain't nothing magical, right? That's gonna take place that has you wanting to that's gonna have you, know, like, oh man, like, okay, I'm finally, I arrived. And when you arrive, it's like, okay, now I'm free to be him, right? Like, you're free to be him now. I finally got the house. I finally got the lady. I finally got that digit that I want. I finally, got that couple of them things off in the bucket list, type, sort of some type way, right? So to speak. Now I'm him. Or nah, that's not real. That's not real. And if you wait until if you're waiting for that magical thing to happen, for that magical moment to take place, right? Then, you might as well, go work at Denny's. And if you're a waiter, like, no slight to nobody. I'm just saying, you'll always be waiting. You'll be waiting. You're a waiter, because these things that crystallize and materialize, things like possessions, vacations, acquaintances, relationships, businesses, and things like that. Those aren't the things that make you. Those aren't the things that make you. And this is kind of. It's like a double-edged sword, right? Because on one hand, we're supposed to challenge ourselves to create, something, create something with just a word, right? Because we're creators, out of the darkness, right? Out of thin air, right? Out of your mind. But on the same token, we in my experience, we kind of lose grip, or kind of disconnect from ourselves, attaching to other things. I'll give you an example. One could be so ambitious, right, that they attach themselves to a goal that's motivated, right? I.e., I want that cherry red Porsche, right? I want that cherry red Porsche, and I want to drive that during the week, and then on the weekend I want to change into the cherry, to the all black BM, right? These are cars I'm referring to. So in the ambitious type, one can attach themselves. I'm not talking about myself. This is for example. Can attach themselves to that material thing and bring that thing into fruition, right? Through the power of, deciding to attach to that. Now, someone could get involved in the wrong activities, in order to acquire those things. And the reason behind wanting the cherry red and the black BM, the cherry red Porsche and the black BM, uh, those high ticket items, right, was to get the girl, because let's say TV shows you that the athlete with the pretty wife and the pretty life and the nice things with the that drives cars like that gets that kind of life. Like, who wouldn't want that life? So you attach to that idea or the illustration of such, right? And you said, that is what life is. That's what life is about. So I'm attached to that illustration, and I'm gonna go get that by any means necessary. And the power that we possess, you did what was deemed necessary, what you deemed necessary to acquire those possessions, to get that girl, and you wasn't doing the right thing. You made a couple bad choices, and we seen that story play out, in movies and everything, right? I only say that to say, man is not judged on his possessions. Let me repeat that. Man is not judged on his possessions. Or man, I said that wrong. Men aren't measured by his possessions or the possessions thereof, right? That's not an attribute of man. Those things, nothing wrong with having nice things, right? But those things aren't the thing that make you him. The possessions that you hold, those are things that those things allow you to be. They allow you to be more of what it is that you are, or who it is that you are. But you got to be somebody first. You got to be him first, is my point. And there's no magical point in which, you've gotten to like a threshold where you say, okay, now I'm him. I can kick back. I got those 7 streams of incomes. I got that woman, and and in my idea, she'll never leave me, and my kids and the house forever, and this, that, and the third. Those things don't make you die proof, right? For what's really happening and what's really real. So that's one misconception that the world has backwards, is, you have to get everything that you want. You got to get everything that you desire in order to become who you want to become. You have to become who you want to become in order to acquire the things that you want and desire. That's in order. That's in divine order. But hey, man, I hope everybody has a truly wonderful, great everything. Peace.